Oh, you thought we were done talking about this guy. You thought that because this was the off-season, we wouldn't have anything to talk about. No, 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 my friend. Today we are going over to the World Junior Summer Showcase Tournament. And we are talking about the best Montreal Canadiens prospect today. No, we're not talking about Reinbacher. No, we're not talking about Yuri Slafkovsky. Instead, we are talking about the one who dominated the NCAA last season. Arguably the best Draft Plus One season we have seen out of any Montreal Canadiens prospect in years. Let's head over to the BU Terriers and talk about their stud defenseman, Lane Hutson. Because at this World Junior Summer Showcase Tournament, which started out yesterday, you had yourselves a game which featured Hutson and which saw some very positive reception. Now, before we go over to that, let's just get you up to speed here. This is the 2023 World Junior Summer Showcase. This happens every year in Plymouth, Michigan, and this season, the entire tournament is set for July 27th to August 4th. So this tourney is essentially a week-long tournament, and there are 4 teams involved. You've got Sweden, Finland, USA Blue, and USA White. So there are 2 USA teams and 2 European teams. So you could imagine that because everything is split up the way that it is, the USA prospects, there are a lot of them. The Swedish prospects, the Finns, there are fewer of those because there's only 1 team each. But what the World Junior Summer Showcase essentially is just, you know, it's just that. It's a showcase. It's a lot of these guys that would be eligible for the World Juniors playing in a summer tournament to get them up to speed, provide some entertainment, and just get some conversation going. You know, this is good for the players. It's good for the fans. It's good for everybody to see hockey going on in the middle of the summer. There are 45 American players on both of the teams together, so you could imagine that it's split half and half, and when the regular World Juniors come, you're probably going to see some cuts being made for the regular American squad there. However, you had yourselves the first series of games happen yesterday, Saturday, July 29th. As we said, this is in Plymouth, Michigan. The next games are going to be on July 31st, followed by August 2nd and then August 4th. Each team plays 4 games against all the other teams, and then you have yourselves the final game where they play off against their first opponents once more. USA White versus Team Finland played yesterday, and Finland actually won 4-2. You could see that when it comes to the box score, the Finns had quite a few goals scored by Tommy Manisto. You had a whole bunch of assists handed out here, but the first goal of the game was handed out to Rutger McGroarty in the 7-minute mark in the first period. He was right out there in the slot, and the guy who passed it over to him was none other than Lane Hutson, who gets the primary assist. Now, Hutson finished off the game with just that 1 point. Of course, we had said that USA lost, but what I wanted to do in this video was go over some of the reactions here, talk about what people on social media are saying regarding this game, and what some of the guys on Daily Faceoff are writing about too. Starting out with the Twitter posts, because Lane Hutson and his showcase was so good that you had yourselves a bunch of NHL people tweeting about it. Habs on Reddit said this: hey, this is what happens when it's July and you're watching Lane Hutson play hockey at the World Junior Summer Showcase. Here are some tweets from different NHL people. Adam Kimmelman of NHL.com and the NHL Draft Class podcast ended up saying this, that Lane Hutson's offensive skill set is obvious, but what really stands out is his competitiveness and determination. He is just a very special player. Chris Peters, the guy on Flow Hockey, went out there and said this: hey, when does Lane Hutson's And One mixtape come out? And then you had EJ Hradek of NHL Network saying that Lane Hutson is a brilliant player. So much fun to watch. You also had yourselves this article published by Stephen Ellison Daily Faceoff, World Junior Summer Showcase. Here are the top performers from day 1. The article will be linked in the description if you want to go ahead and read what Ellis writes about in regards to each of the standout prospects on the 4 teams. If you go over to USA White, you can see that Lane Hutson is the first mention over here. I don't want you to get too excited, Ellis writes to Canadiens fans, but Lane Hutson looked fantastic in this game. His work to set up the first American goal was pretty, and then he followed that up by beating top 2024 draft prospect Aaron Kirviharju with a great rush up the ice. If this is a sign of things to come over the next week, then watch out. Now sure, that doesn't go out there and describe necessarily what Hutson was doing, but it kind of aligns with all the other perspectives we have seen about this guy over not just the past few hours in the game, but over the past year and a bit. In fact, Adam Kimmelman, the guy who does the NHL Draft Class podcast on NHL.com, also tweeted this out the other day. Lane Hutson is so dominant in the holy bleep plays per 60 category today. And it's such a strange thing to be able to say about a player, but it's something that I think we all kind of understand is just a part of Lane Hutson's game. He controls that lower corner of the offensive zone near the blue line so well that he's able to just waltz right by guys, open up space. He's always pivoting. He's always spinning around, getting through people, opening up lanes. And I mean, look, all pun intended, Lane Hutson opening up lanes on the ice. It's so effective and magnificent to watch that you kind of have to realize there's a lot of potential for Lane Hutson to just completely take over this tournament because last season he played against NCAA guys. This is a different skill set here. This is a different level of competition. NCAA hockey has a lot of players that are over the age of 20, 21, 22, 23. A lot of these guys are bigger. A lot of these guys are stronger. A lot of these guys are men. When you're playing in the World Junior Summer Showcase and even the regular World Juniors, you're playing against kids under 20. So there's a lot of potential here for Lane Hutson to just kind of pick himself up by the bootstraps and say, yep, I know what it's like to play against tougher competition. I'm just going to go easy on these guys. Kind of take these guys for a little spin cycle in the washing machine. How about that? And as a result, you have some very nice plays that come out. Might I remind you, just because we're on this topic, Lane Hutson last year in the NCAA had 48 points in 39 games played. Just an incredible number. He outscored Cale Makar, Quinn Hughes, all these other great NCAA players when they were freshmen. And Hutson, as a player who is only 5'10", 161, has really shown off just in the past year that he is more than capable of playing off against kids his own age in a summer tournament. So even though he only finished off this game against Finland with 1 assist, there is still so much more to be paying attention to over the next few days that all we got to do is just wait till tomorrow when Team USA White goes out there and plays against, who are they going to play? Team Sweden. So we'll see how they'll perform against the Swedes. The Swedes have some pretty good names of their own. I mean, if you go over to this article on Daily Faceoff, the Stephen Ellis piece, he wrote in the Swedish game about Mattias Havlid, Hugo Havlid, as well as Elias Salomonsson, so there are some pretty recognizable names on that team. And then, of course, for the Finns, there were some other names, too, that were interesting. But either way, for Lane Hutson, a guy who has gone out there and just shown off so much over the past few years, this summer showcase is giving him a stage to do even more against guys in his own age range. No disrespect to any of the World Junior Summer Showcase players, but the NCAA folks are a little bit bigger, older, and stronger. So for Hutson to just kind of dominate in the same way, yeah, it's not really surprising. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. If you're a Montreal Canadiens fan, what are your thoughts on how Lane Hutson played in Game 1 against Finland? If you want to watch these games, they are available on the USA Hockey website, I'm pretty sure. It's pretty accessible online. You just got to look for it. I'm not going to lie, I'm not too sure if you need to pay for a subscription or something to be able to watch it or if it's just free right there, but there are enough people going out there tweeting about this tournament live and giving us updates from the scene that I feel comfortable going out there and talking about it just on a video here. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. How do you feel about the World Junior Summer Showcase? What do you think this indicates for Lane Hutson heading into next season? We'll make more videos as the tournament goes on, just kind of talking about Hutson, talking about some of the other stories that come about from this tournament. So I guess you could pay attention to that when it's there. But for now, I hope you enjoyed this video. And bye.